Hello again, channel. So this is it, our first product line video on the Verified PAM channel. Today I'll introduce the IBM Security Verify Privilege product line. Verify Privilege is IBM's PAM product family that addresses a complete PAM solution for various use cases and threat vectors. I always want to be open and transparent as I develop this channel, and I must disclose that my current day job is as a PAM-focused technical specialist at IBM. So I do PAM for a living. This channel, however, is my night job, if you will. And I want to start looking at various PAM solutions from various vendors. But I thought I'd focus on the ones I know best as we get this channel established. I hope you enjoy, and as always, I look forward to your feedback and suggestions. As we get into this, it's good to know that each product in the Verify Privilege product line can work independently for the area it is designed for, or interconnect with the other products to work as a larger PAM platform. Now this is great because it can scale from an early PAM effort into a more mature, all-encompassing PAM solution. I like this approach as IBM isn't trying to make you purchase what you don't need, especially if you already have technologies protecting one PAM aspect, but you need a tool for another area of PAM. There are 5 total products in the Verify Privilege product line, and I'll share a slide with all 5 of them at the end of us going through them individually. The first and often most foundational is the Verify Privilege Vault. Verify Privilege Vault is available from IBM in software as a service, on-premise, meaning you provide the hardware and operating systems. Alternatively, you can take your on-premise license to a cloud and install the application and database there. Speaking of databases, Verify Privilege Vault uses a SQL database, and that's it. While it may seem rather short-sighted, it is really a smart business move by leveraging a leading database format and not having to invest internally to support and develop many different database types. It's kind of like the Apple model at work here. Also, the SQL structured database comes into play when performing those ever so critical audits and running reports of PAM usage. Reporting is very quick in this product, which I'll show in a dedicated Verify Privilege Vault video very soon. The other infrastructure piece of the Verified Privilege Vault is the user interface, primarily a web browser used by served by Windows IIS. Again, this is the only web server technologies that are offered. Now I say primarily because while most businesses and users will use the very friendly and intuitive browser interface, Verify Privilege Vault also works great with API. So well, it's the secret weapon of this product. IBM's licensing is for users, that's humans, that log into the vault, think humans, and access secrets. API calls are not counted against those licenses. So if developers need to keep their credentials secure but do not need to log in to manage them often, they could use their API calls with their applications to do their work while keeping those credentials securely managed by Verify Privilege Vault. Let's briefly discuss the software as a service solution option. IBM will host a complete Verify Privilege Vault environment on the Microsoft Azure cloud. Instead of just building a couple of virtual machines on Azure, the Verify Privilege Vault and the Verify Privilege Manager products, which we'll discuss next, are built for the cloud from the ground up, so to speak. The infrastructure is Kubernetes based, so it grows and shrinks based on usage. Additionally, it leverages several critical Azure technologies like geo-redundant storage, so there are always at least 3 instances of that critical Vault database running around the country. And failover is in the 15-minute range, which is pretty good because you don't want to fail over your databases during a very short outage or network blips all day. 15 minutes seems to be a thought-out time for making the call to shift the Vault to a ready standby. Another aspect I like is that by leveraging the Azure blue and green functionality allows the product patching and upgrade activity to be conducted on the standby instance first and tested before transparently shifting production from the unpatched version to the patched. Your patching and upgrades are advertised a couple weeks in advance within the application to allow you heads up notice, and then it's done smoothly. The last thing about SaaS is that many people wonder how it connects to your on-premise or other cloud systems and services. All that is required to connect your SaaS application to your other environments is something IBM calls a distributed engine, or DE. The DE is a very small Windows application installed in your environment. It's not an agent. I want to stress that. It's a Windows app that goes on one Windows server in your environment. It will call out to the SaaS application on port 443 outbound only. It'll pick up the work from the application and execute it locally in your environment. Having a few DEs in your environment for disaster recovery and high availability is best practice. I'm a huge fan of the Verify Privilege SaaS experience. IBM got this one right and provided a very quick return on investment with this product. The environment is delivered to you ready to go. You need to connect it via the DE, or distributed engine, and you can start pulling those privilege accounts into management on day one. Verify Privilege Vault is about securing credentials, also known as secrets. This application achieves that security by placing all information in an AES 256-bit encrypted SQL database. That may sound overly simple, but you'll see how much more this product can do once the Vault manages those secrets in a dedicated video. In addition to storing the secrets, Verify Privilege Vault can support session monitoring, electronic secret access workflows, automated password rotations, autonomous privileged account discovery, web service integrations, and a lot more, while being extremely well audited. Verify Privilege Manager is the Verify Privileges line's next product or component. This product is focused on the endpoint from the PAM perspective. It's important to reiterate that it is a PAM endpoint tool. It is not an endpoint management solution from a support perspective. For instance, it shouldn't replace tools like BombGuard. However, I believe no other tool will better protect your endpoints from a PAM perspective than Verify Privilege Manager. Like Verify Privilege Vault, Verify Privilege Manager runs on commonly found Windows IIS and SQL database, and can deploy anywhere or be provided as a SaaS solution on the Microsoft Azure cloud. Verify Privilege Manager does require an agent on the endpoints. This agent is responsible for checking in with the Verify Privilege platform, where the administrator issues policies and configurations. Then the agent will enforce the policies locally on the endpoint. It's important to note that even if a user takes the endpoint off the company network and the agent can't speak to the platform, the agent will still enforce the last set of policies that was made aware of. This is great for organizations with lots of travelers, or heaven forbid users taking their endpoints out camping with them and trying to install or run unauthorized applications or accounts. Verify Privilege Manager flips the whole endpoint security paradigm regarding how to protect that endpoint. First, I believe there's a better way to protect the endpoint than by adding users in and out of a local administrator group or other privileged local groups to achieve permissions to get work done. Instead, Verify Privilege Manager escalates the applications that users require, and they do that only for the period that the application needs to be escalated. Then it returns it to a normal level. Additionally, Verify Privilege Manager takes local user and group management to another level. Verify Privilege Manager can control local users and group membership, take the local user passwords into management, and do things like set complexity or rotations and other such tasks. When Verify Privilege Manager is connected to Verify Privilege Vault, those local user credentials can be centrally managed and audited via the Verify Privilege Vault. And that gives an organization a central pane of glass approach to PAM. Lastly, both Verify Privilege Vault and Privilege Manager have an available, very affordable option called Privilege Behavior Analytics. And this SaaS-only solution can receive the logs from the two products or individual products and provide a very interesting view of an organization's privileged account usage. Even set up alerts and things as needed, like after-hours privilege account access. I'll provide a short video on Privilege Behavior Analytics separately very soon. But know that IBM Security has appeared to think of everything regarding the challenges of PAM in an organization. Verify Privilege DevOps Vault is our next component of the Verify Privilege line. This is a product focused 100% on the DevOps teams and possibly application developer communities. Offered only as a SaaS offering hosted on the AWS cloud, it is actually a microservice that scales infinitely with workload. This is important, as DevOps teams commonly need to touch their credentials quickly and often in their simulations and large-scale productions. Most Verify Privilege DevOps Vault users interact via command line interface or API calls, with most production, think post-development, use cases being handed off to the applications or machines that access and leverage the credentials. By now, hopefully you see that IBM Security has provided very focused PAM solutions for organizations via the Verify Privilege product line, and we still have a couple to go. Verify Privilege Server Suite is offered on-premise, or you can deploy in your own cloud if the agents can connect to that cloud. The purpose of Verify Privilege Server Suite is to provide a solution to Unix and Linux organizations and provide just-in-time and just enough access to their NIX users. Verify Privilege Server Suite is a Windows-based application that connects to that SQL database to establish the capability to bind local NIX accounts to Active Directory so that organizations can handle things like provisioning and even some limited group policy objects centrally to their Unix and Linux environments. I've used this product to free up some of my Unix administrators from Unix user provisioning tasks by handing the user provisioning to the company's account management team. Once the systems and users are in Active Directory, the account management team treats the NIX systems as if they were provisioning a Windows user. An agent does need to be installed on the Unix or Linux systems to talk to the application on the Windows system to get their rules. The final component of the Verify Privilege product line, and also the newest, is Verify Privilege Cloud Suite. Cloud Suite is touted as the easy-to-deploy SaaS solution that helps secure privileged access for servers in a multi-cloud and on-premise environment. It allows humans and machines to authenticate while enforcing the least privilege with just-in-time elevations. The three main services of Verify Privilege Cloud Suite are Cloud Authentication Services. This is across multi-cloud environments. Cloud Privilege Elevation Services. Cloud Audit and Monitoring Services. To recap, I've introduced the IBM Security Verify Privilege product line. This is IBM's product line focused on addressing privilege access management across all an organization's facets. Remember that each product is fully capable or can be connected to the other products to establish a formidable PAM platform. In some upcoming videos, I'll be getting into individual product demonstrations and then some short videos on very specific features of each product. I'll also have an upcoming video soon on the relationship between IBM and Delinea regarding privilege access management. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative and enjoyable. I am admittedly new to this platform and could use your feedback. I hope you subscribe, like if you liked, and set up notifications of upcoming videos. Until then, I wish you great things and good health.